I know other artists who them a brand ambassador for this and that array. Like you can't stop the dot of them.
These same big shows that them putting on, that them leaving females out of, it don't really have full substance in terms of reflecting our music and our culture.
A lot of women out there who they have this sense of competition in their mind, and that, you know, there's so few places, and then if you only have space for one woman on this show.
We heard from Statius earlier as a dancehall artist, you know, the challenges and how her experience is. And she has come to terms to accept the music industry as it is now, females. Is that the same story for a reggae artist?
I think Statius made some real crucial points about just accepting the reality that you're in and trying to make your own personal reality, you know, something that you can love and be proud of and, you know, express your passion in. And I think it's the same for us. I think it's certainly the same for me, because when I don't like something, if you know, I'm not getting called on to all the big shows in Jamaica, or when they call them on deal with me like, oh, it's a by the way thing, then I don't have to do that. I can put on my own show. And I invite people who want to hear my music and them trad. And it might not be 5,000, 10,000 people here, but the people who come, they wanted to be there, you know? And that makes me feel good, because like Astacia said, you hear her talking about, you know, we have to be in the streets, and if you're not in the streets, you're not relevant and so on. Like, I'm sure it would be the same way in reggae music, like if I was inclined to go to all of the every day of the week type of things, you know, maybe it would make a difference, maybe they would play my music more, but then that's not really. And maybe my priorities are wrong for an artist. Maybe I'm not the proper type of artist either.
To do that.
But that's not really what I am doing this for. Like, I would spend an inordinate amount of time in the studio, or rehearsing, or writing. And that is my greatest joy.
I don't think that it is the situation in every industry. Right now, there are females in other music industries that are on top of their game. We don't need to list them out. We know who they are, you know. I also think that reggae industry is quite a small industry, and females are a very large talent. So I'm not sure that they can fully support us in the way that maybe we should be supported. We're dancers, we're singers, we are performers, we have our bands, you know, we dress up, you know, in all kind of pretty things, and I think it's a very costly thing, you know. By the time we are able to fulfill all of the visions that we have in our head of how, you know, a particular performance should look, you know, I think the whole reggae industry will probably collapse, you know. So that's one thing. I don't think that our industry is at the level of growth where they can fully support female talents in the way that we should be. I also think it comes to a place where not necessarily that we're going to accept things that the way they are, but we'll more take things into our own hands. You know, as two artists, we already put on our own shows annually. We have our own shows that we keep. You know, we figured out a way to harness the people that love our music and to feed them, rather than feeling like we have to go out into this big stage show thing to be able to reach the people. There are people that want to hear our music and come to us to listen to it, you know. So I also think that there's a very big shift in the way that the industry is running now. You know, these same big shows that them putting on, that them leaving females out of, it don't really have full substance in terms of reflecting our music and our culture. It's become a very corporate-centered event, and I think we as females, we embrace a lot more culture, so it's almost only fitting that we're not necessarily there, you know, to be the brand representations of the corporate world either, you know. It's definitely challenging, but I don't think I would choose another challenge. Like, this is a challenge that I feel like is fit for me, and I also think it's a part of our role as women in the industry to make sure that, you know, young girls who maybe want to pursue similar things after us have an easier route, you know. So I just think we have to be the trailblazers right now.
Are you surprised about anything, Jah9, coming in the industry? And I've known you for years, trying to get in and do your thing, but when you finally got in, you're like, this is it?
Like, I've kind of always been paving my way. When I was in university, I didn't know that I was coming out to do this. And then I come out of university and I do corporate. And that was some of the most intense years of my life. You talk about multitasking, and that was an intense period of my life too. So since I retired from corporate Jamaica, like, all of the challenges I've faced, like, they've been nothing in comparison, because there's so much joy attached to it, knowing that this is my thing. So even when it stressed me out, at the end of the day, it's still mine. It's still me doing this. I know the mission I'm on. This is, you know what I mean? This isn't me putting on and doing work for somebody else. This is my vision that I am manifesting. Because when I was starting out, there weren't any examples of women doing what I was doing. I mean, there still are very few, you know what I mean? When I am putting on events, the first time I put on an event in maybe 10 years ago. And I remember I bring my virgins in and bands and thing, Uprising Roots and Dub Tonic Crew, and it was a novel idea. Like, so few people were expected to come because, wow, roots music and live dub, and you know, and it was so novel. But you can't just you can't let it be based on what people are doing, or this is what the industry says, or this is how the standard is. You have to just trust the imagination and trust the spirit. And our roles are not our roles because we are in this industry. Our roles are as they are because we are women. And so, as the sister said, there are a whole heap of roles we have to fill. We already know that, whether or not, you know what I mean, whichever industry you go into. And so, as the sister said, it's a whole heap of different things we bring into the table other than just entertainment. We're not entertainers. I'm not an entertainer.
We're edutainers.
You see me? There are a lot of women out there who they have this sense of competition in their mind, and that, you know, there's so few places, and then if you only have space for one woman on this show, and because of how man set the thing, right, it give woman the space that, okay, boy, we can't too because it's
can't exist
you know
together.
what I mean? I mean, I say that is ridiculous. So then we just put on our own show, right, and we support each other and we see each other, you know what I mean? And it's all talk until somebody starts to actually activate it in that way. And I think now is as good a time as any if you just let the woman them, just give them space. You know what I mean? Them not asking you to come and put them on them show, you know. Them doing them own things. See, the daughter, Statius, have her restaurant and her business, and she's in media. And I know other artists too, them are brand ambassador for this and that and Ray. Like, you can't stop the daughter them. You cannot let them now go hungry. But we support our brothers, and our brothers support us. Our brothers don't even support us as much as they could because them just don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, I
think that people just genuinely don't even. So I think it's our job really to bring it to their attention too. And I think one of the big things outside of us as artists, I really believe that women in the industry, like for instance, I can say there have been women within the industry that look out for me and make sure me get on certain show and make sure me get certain interview. Sadika. And make sure, you know, like there are women within the industry outside of just being an artist that really see that there is a gap that can be filled, you know. And I think that that's where, you know, that we can strengthen each other is by looking out for each other. Me as an artist, if I get a certain opportunity, Jah9 call me right and say, yo, we're doing this thing, you want forward, let's go. You know, it's about a solidarity in a bigger way. So a big part of it is educating people,
right,
and letting them know that our music is of substance, it is of importance, our perspective is important. In fact, it provides the balance that our society needs. If every minute all people hearing is just man music, our society is going to reflect that. You know what I mean? So it needs the woman's perspective, I feel like, for it to evolve to an even bigger international.
And I remember when I was coming, nobody was telling you to do, everybody had that idea of this is the blueprint, and if you don't do this way, it's not going to work on the rate. And I spent so much time not doing things the way that people wanted me to do it. And yet I'm still here and still growing and watching everything that I envisioned manifest.
So I literally have no doubt that in a few years, them can't hold with them, can't stop with them, want upon every show.
Hey, we don't have no youth yet, you know.
The man, them are worried, say, oh, we're not getting a show. I genuinely feel like it's going to get to that level. And it's not like we wanting to come and dominate, you know, but I genuinely feel like there are cycles of everything. And that's how it works until we find a balance. I have no doubt in a few years, you know, every woman right now that's having doubts, you know, whether you're an artist, whether you're a doctor, just hold it.
This music industry is it is a way we happen to be in the industry because it's music we want to make, and this is how we want to manifest. But trust me, like, the possibilities are infinite, and that is the message for the whole of the daughter them to, like, you are not limited by the things you see around you.